Well, after their giant killing act in the capital a month ago today, Dondol Stars are targeting another top flight scalp as they collide with AmaZulu in the Nedbank Cup round of 16. A very warm welcome to the FNB Stadium as we get stuck into the second round of the Cup of Dreams on what is a temperate Johannesburg evening. Protest action at the Tshwane University of Technology necessitated a last-minute scramble to find an alternate venue to the compact TUT Stadium. And, Stars had been hoping to pack that to the brim. A week ago, they wouldn't have expected to be striding out at the biggest stadium on the continent. But then again, not many were expecting them to overturn a deficit to dump out five-time National Cup winners SuperSport United in their maiden Nedbank Cup last 32 appearance. They have defied the odds and will be desperate to do so against an AmaZulu side who have already reached a cup final this season. So they've had to travel a little further than expected, but Dondol Stars do have a healthy pocket of fans here at the FNB Stadium this evening, as do AmaZulu. The KZN side take on third-tier opposition for a second time in succession, having survived a late scare against Tornado FC in their round of 32 match. Away today, although technically this is a neutral venue, AmaZulu have actually really struggled for wins on their travels this term, but they did get the monkey off their back on Sunday as they dispatched Chippa United in Gqeberha by 2-0. So our match officials, Cedric Mubali, Sandile Delikani and Kenny Mamegwa, are waiting in the tunnel quite patiently for AmaZulu, who've had to occupy a change room on the other side of the stadium. That's why they are just a little tardy at the moment. But that gives me an opportunity to welcome the woman who's alongside me today. I am the thorn amongst the roses today. You'll hear the voice of Amanda Dlamini next, after I run you through the changes for Dondol Stars, who actually name an unchanged lineup from the one that thumped Dube Continental 4-0 in their last ABC Motsepe outing. In terms of the lineup that they had in the last 32 against SuperSport United, that reflects two changes. Tabana Mabena and Tumelo Matiani making way with Katiso Siema and Tsepo Skosana drafted into this evening's 11. AmaZulu, meanwhile, makes 6 changes to the 11 that started against Chippa United. Jody February replaces Vili Motu in goal. Tembele Skakane returns from suspension, and Gumede shifts centrally with Veluyeke Zulu sacrificed. The midfield and attack have undergone an overhaul with Mobara and Rally Boalia introduced for Maluleke and Malepe. Julie Manziba and Sedi Dion are also omitted, with Dumisani Zuma and Bongi Ntuli earning starts this evening. Well, finally, they will stride out at this iconic stadium for the AmaZulu players. They've done this a few times before, but this will be a momentous moment for the Dondol Stars lads. And you just wonder what they are feeling in this moment. Amanda, as I give you your first opportunity on the mic.
Thank you so much, Grant. Really looking forward to seeing what it is that Dondol Stars can really show us this time around against AmaZulu, especially considering their impressive performance against SuperSport United.
And the fact that they came from behind against a top flight side. Yes, they had made 7 changes, SuperSport United. They fielded Tamsanka Gabuza at the back alongside young Bilal Baloy, but take nothing away from what Dondol Stars managed on that evening exactly a month ago today. Here's how their formation looks for this game.
Yeah, this will really give us an opportunity to see how it is that Dondol Stars will be lining up. Massive concentration there with the likes of Mnyembange there in that midfield, but also Makungo, number 11 there, with some explosive power. AmaZulu with some changes, especially notably with Jody February getting a start. Skakane really coming back to give us that pace in that midfield, but of course lots of contention where ball is concerned.
Well, here once again we get a look at our officials. Cedric Mubali having a light moment with the captains. It's Kolovela Munama for the hosts today, Dondol Stars, and Mbongeni Gumede, who has been in terrific form for AmaZulu, earns the armband under coach Romain Foles. We'll be hoping that his side navigates the unknown relatively easily, although Dondol Stars won't be too unknown to them, since they were able to watch the whole match against SuperSport United, and they have been watching their last few ABC Motsepe outings. If they did watch them against Dube Continental, well, they are fielding a side that is identical. And now we stand by for a moment of silence after the sad passing of Sphamandla Gumede. As we did over the weekend, honouring the life of Tate Mahwe, a late Free State MEC of Education, and Sphamandla Gumede, a young midfielder for Richards Bay, who sadly collapsed in training. May their souls rest in peace. So to the matter at hand, Dondol Stars saluting those who have turned out in support, who've had to change their plans. It is the biggest day in the brief history of Dondol Stars, which doesn't even yet stretch back a full decade, that they have proved already that they can hang with the big boys, and they will seek to do so once again upon one of the land's grandest stages. Well, we already know they won't be overawed by the situation, as they displayed against Matsatsansa. It's AmaZulu who get us underway here at the FNB Stadium, expecting to progress, although they have come unstuck in the last 16 on several occasions in recent years. And they have also lost to third-tier opposition in the past, most recently back in 2013 in the last 32 against Temple Royals, one of 3 instances where lower tier sides outside of the professional ranks, the first 2 tiers, have actually defeated AmaZulu. As Ryan Hanamut has been ever so reliable for Lesotho this season. The Zambian, Rally Bwalia, combining with Mobara, who's been deployed in defense this season as well. Skakani on the overlap. He comes back from suspension today. Vili Yakazulu partnered Raman Pahlele in their previous outing. Gumede now shifts centrally to accommodate the return of the man who will be attempting to toss this long. He is very capable from these kind of positions with ball in hand. It's not bad either. Pahlele positioning himself towards the near post, as he usually does in these situations, and from the across from Skakane, AmaZulu have been awarded the first set piece of the match. Sphamandla Gumede, goalkeeper who hails from Richards Bay, absolutely outstanding against SuperSport United. Was on their books as a junior. Inspired performance, really. Twice denied to Bang Sibanyoni when it looked as though a SuperSport striker would score. There's Gabadina Mahango for AmaZulu. He's lifted one in. Gumede can't claim cleanly, but had taken a bit of a knock there, so unsurprisingly dropping the ball in midair and getting the referee's call in his favour. Pretty good crosses this week of Fletcher.
Yep, you're going to see quite a bit of Gabadino Mhango really attacking that left wing, but of course Gumede really doing well. Started very well against SuperSport with some crucial saves, and I think this evening won't be any different, just where positioning is concerned, but making sure that he gets a clean sheet.
Gumede dispensed to Mobara. Pahlele. Skakane. Still Tembela Skakane foraging forward. Bungi and Tuli has it now. Skakane's continued his run. He has Rally Bwalia dispossessed in a crucial area. Ball given away. Mahango. Lovely little move there. Bungi and Tuli. Extian. Now Zuma in possession. The referee coming back for much earlier incidents. So potentially an early problem for Skakane, who did miss that previous game against Chippa United through suspension, walking a tad gingerly off the field. His young French coach, 32 years of age. His side up into the top 8 in the DStv Premiership now. They've been a bit like a yo-yo, as have many teams operating in the mid-table. You win one or two, you go up. You lose a couple, and you really drop down. Actually, AmaZulu, after their defeat to TS Galaxy last month, they had been in 6th. They dropped to 12th, just on the basis of that defeat alone. But back into the top 8 now, in 8th. This is Kolovelo Monama. He's planted plenty of goals for Dondol in the league this season, a dozen to be exact. In that position, very impressive. This is forward from Rivaldo Fox. SuperSport United's goal in the last 32 went down as a Fox own goal. And Hlapo getting the last touch for SuperSport United. I thought that it was heading in, therefore not an own goal, but I think it might have been drifting wide. But in any case, they were able to overturn that deficit through Molefe and Monama to come away with a hugely important, famous victory for Dondol. Now, Extin. A little touch from Dumisani Zuma almost freed him. He thought he was fouled. Josefana Mabu, 25-year-old from Rustenburg, looking for an option further upfield. This will be comfortably collected by Jody February. There's Hanamub. Hanamub has kept the ball in play, holding off Nimbane. One of the older players in the side at 32. Captain was once upon a time formerly at Baberwa. He's hoping that his side can continue operating at the top of the ABC Motsepe Gauteng stream. At the national playoffs, always a little bit of a lottery. You can do tremendously well in your provincial obligations, as was the case with the side like Summerfield Dynamos, for example, and KZN last season handily winning the league, and they're not really coming to the party at the playoffs. Mubara switching play. This is Hanamub. Pahlele up to Mango. corner prevented. Dondol, to you, just look a little anxious in possession. Haven't seen them string together many passes yet.
They have indeed looked a little bit shaky in these opening stages, not really getting the fluidity that we know and that we've seen.
Nothing materializes from that moment. Bara cushioned back to February.
Which I then, Grant, would like to pose this to you. We had that conversation building up to the game of how much of an influence playing at FNB could be for the Dondol Stars.
Yeah, hugely different, I think, from TUT, where they would have tried to create a more intimidating atmosphere. The intention from Dondol for quite some time now, especially on their social media platforms, has been to fill up TUT Stadium. So as much as it'll be very good for the players to come here and compete upon this turf, this famous turf, it probably won't serve them particularly well. And technically now this, I think, qualifies as a neutral venue. Looking back at actually AmaZulu's last 5 away games in the Nedbank Cup, they've done awfully. Lost their last 2 away games to Orlando Pirates in the last 32 last season, to Black Leopards in the last 16 before that. In fact, the only time they've won over their past 5 away games in the Nedbank Cup was a penalty shootout against the Montfort Golden Arrows in the last 32 back in 2021. But prior to that, they'd lost heftily to Bloemfontein Celtic, and before that to Platinum Stars in the first round. They don't travel well in this cup. Skakane, it's the second time he's really venturing forward like that, dispossessed. Dondol Stars have an opportunity to get moving. Lovely feet. Can't keep him alive on this near side. That will be disappointing for Mabu. Was nicely won by Mukungo. AmaZulu had it briefly in possession, but a man they call Figo going down. Here's the side's top scorer in the ABC Motsepe League with 13 goals in 19 outings. February, in his only appearance so far this term, conceded twice late to Tornado FC. So potentially crucial moment here. This one to be delivered in by Sphamandla Gumede. Got the assists for the opening goal in that game against Supersport United. He's gone direct here. And that one whizzes over the crossbar of Jody February.
Yeah, Nomala thought he could fancy his chances there. Great power behind the ball, just lacking that accuracy, which I thought could have lobbed in the ball and maybe test the aerial duels where AmaZulu are concerned and really get that physical battle, maybe even force a corner.
Just a moment ago, Vincent Ramoni on the edge of his dugout. He is a student of the game. He admires Pep Guardiola and locally Rulani Mokoena. I'm told they call him Pep. Skakane worked into space here for Mobara. Now Zuma's on the move. Too much weight on that pass forward.
Yeah, AmaZulu seem to be enjoying much of the ball possession, but they too are not finding just that accuracy and connection where the final pass is concerned.
Running away from danger, Mbane. He's done really well to work the ball out to the far side. Dondol looking to get it over the top, well judged by Gumede as Mubara. He's been dispossessed. And the efforts from quite some distance out lands on the roof of the net, although well watched by February all the way as Molife launched it.
Great awareness though from Molife, who just spotted Jody February out of his line outside the box, just really trying to lob him there.
Both co-coaches in your shot, Coach Vincent, Coach Kuliso. A quarter hour in, their defense remains unbreached. In fact, it is they who have conjured the two chances so far. So, effectively keeping AmaZulu at bay, with Rally Bwanya now in possession. Ooh, that one will go straight out for a Dondol corner, misjudged pass, and Abubakar Mubara on his heels, not able to rescue the situation. Well, when you consider your opposition to be a lesser threat, as much as you might have worked on the mental aspect, and I was going to say during the week, but really they've only had a few days since their game against Chippy United. It's human nature, I guess, to just maybe take your foot off the pedal a little bit, not play as purposefully as perhaps you would in a top-flight match. But very soon they'll come to realize that Dondol are a serious threat, and from this corner, not able to make anything happen as February claims easily. Did actually have more possession than SuperSport United in that last 32 game. He just shaded it.
The coaching staff or the technical team really pride themselves with the Dondol Stars just being a possession-based team. Their ability to find solutions and create goal-scoring opportunities. But today they are definitely going to be tested where dimensions and internal distances are concerned. As we've seen in these opening stages, they're really trying to connect those passes.
Well, they've done well here. Obada has to step in. A decisive touch from the man who turned 29 last month. He's actually been to 2 Nedbank Cup finals, has Abubakar Mubara. He's lost both of them with Ajax in 2015 against Mamelodi Sundowns, and more recently in 2017 into the final with Orlando Pirates as they were beaten 4-1 by SuperSport United. Potofalo Mabu preparing a long throw. Cleared away by AmaZulu. Rally Bwalia's touch doesn't take it further enough along. Mabu's flung it forward once again. Bwalia gets the header to Gabadini Maango. Malawian star retains possession. Now with Zuma. Mubara. Bwalia. Still Rally Bwalia. He's lined up a shot from distance. Last touch off the captain, Munama. There's Hanamub. Goal kick. Last touch off the Namibian. No protest from him. Very shrewd piece of recruiting to bring Rian Hanamub to the club.
Indeed, and it certainly does complement a player like Skakane on the other end. Lots of pace, but they sure know how to if one goes, the one needs to stay and provide that cover. And I think Anamo really shows his experience, especially when he goes on that transition to give a quality cross.
They certainly have a terrific understanding, and in terms of outfield players, as Boyle executes a nice touch, they have been the most consistent for AmaZulu this season. Extien now, Mopara, Extien. Patlele over the top for Zuma, tries their first time cross with Bongi waiting. Dondol last season finished third in ABC Motsepe Stream 2 behind MM Platinum and Highlands Park. MM Platinum, La Masia eventually making it through to the Motsepe Foundation Championship. This season they are first and seeming like they were going to run away with the league. 59 points, they're 7 points clear of Pele Pele. Ball no longer fit for purpose. As technologically advanced as these footballs are today, I think every now and again they can still succumb to a puncture. So fresh ball introduced, and AmaZulu with a set-piece opportunity to be delivered in by Rian Hanemu. So Hanemum's take, lifted in towards Patlele, just evades him. These two sides seeking to join the defending champions, Mamelodi Sundowns, in the quarter-finals. Incidentally, Dondol Stars, also hailing from Mamelodi. Extien. Boalia. Into space for Zuma, scrambled. He's not able to keep it in. François Poloy. Picked up by Skakani. Mopara under pressure. Bit of a loose pass. Skakani has hoofed that into the air. And a touch off the head was a nice idea, but Nkonga hadn't positioned himself in anticipation of receiving the ball, so he was offside. Nicely done by Extien to dispense this into space for Mango. He's got near post, it has struck the upright, and that's the closest either side have come midway through the first half. Now the pressure's not off. AmaZulu still have the ball set up here for Extien, wide. Suddenly the game has burst into life.
Two big chances there for AmaZulu. Should have converted. Great take there from Extien, who has been in the thick of things. A thunderous strike from Kapadino. Does really well to set himself up. Chooses to go for the laces, but couldn't beat the bar.
Seized upon by Extien. Cushioned into his path. Hendrik Extien. And again, just wide. Twice in the space of a minute. He sent the ball a whisker past that upright. Bongi unselfish. to play him in.
And all of a sudden it starts with Mubara with that interception. XTN once again in the thick of things, really trying to chip the goalkeeper. Once again misses the target.
XTN heavily involved in everything for AmaZulu thus far. So Dondol escape unscathed, but a hint of what may be to come. Here they come, the hosts. Worked out to the far side. 4 waiting in the 18-yard area, so low ball in. That will fall kindly here. A whisker wide from Katiso Siema. It's happening at both ends.
Yeah, and that's just the cliche of football. If you fail to maximize and take advantage of the opportunities, you might get punished. Dondol Stars just coming really close. Great cutback in that penalty spot, just missing the target.
Well, about 21 minutes into this encounter, there had been 2 shots in the game. We've reached, or about to reach, the 25-minute mark. They've now been 6 in total. Rather damningly, though, none have hit the target. Oh, that's cleverly done. Zuma not able to latch back onto it. This is Munama. Baloy scored 6 goals from defence this season. Mabu. Siema. Nyembane. Well cut out by Dumisani Zuma. Fox back to his goalkeeper, just 22 years of age, has been on the books of Supersport United's development in Maritzburg in the past. Now Hanamuk trying to keep pace with Mabu. Turned away from immediate danger by Gumede, but it's at the expense of a corner kick. Dondol have certainly come here to compete.
Yeah, absolutely, they are here to compete. They are now changing the strategies and really trying to force the likes of Mabu to have much more of an advanced position closer to the attacking 3, which will then give them that numerical advantage that they're always seeking.
Sorry, from the corner. Not able to conjure anything this time around. Dondol nicely cleared by AmaZulu. Tulu doing some defensive work. Most of Ntulu's appearances in the league have come off the bench. 13 sub-appearances so far this term, but he has started both cup games now. Not well cleared by AmaZulu, at least not initially. And then an acrobatic effort to get it away from Gabadini Mahango. It's come at some personal cost.
Mubara just losing that aerial duel because everyone in defense, where set piece is concerned, even strikers like Gaba, as spectacular as it seems.
Very risky way to clear inside the 18-yard area, wouldn't you say? I mean, that could have gone awfully wrong.
Striker's instincts.
Zuma. Pahlele on the overlap. Msana Zuma all the way back to Mubara. As Gumede, 3 goals this season. 5 goals in his career total. That means that 2 had come. Only 2 prior to this term. So he's finding his touch as a goal-scoring defender. As Dumisani Zuma wins a free kick for AmaZulu in a really good position.
Expectation now for Zuma is really to maximize on those 1v1 opportunities. Really try to isolate that defender to get a quality cross in the final pass.
That's a great position for Mubara to swing something in. Mubara's take, Pongi Ntuli the target. It's away by Dondol Stars. Almost half an hour has elapsed at the FNB Stadium as this is worked forward to Gabadin Mahango. Oh, Jody February having to take evasive action. Cross away by Skakane. And then he's swung in by Molefe.
How about that pass from Gumede? It would have been an amazing transition if it is that Dondol Stars really maximize on that opportunity.
So Mabu drying off the ball, really looking to get as much flight on this as possible. Here's the little lean. He's going to hurl it. Difficult to contend with, but AmaZulu have dealt admirably with that threat. Haven't done well on the road this season. AmaZulu, all competitions, they have played 13 and won just 3 away games. But they come into this one on the back of that victory over Chippa United. It snapped a 9-game winless run on the road. And that's since they beat Cape Town City in extra time, the MTNA quarterfinals at Athlone Stadium last year. Also kept a clean sheet in their last outing. The last time they kept successive clean sheets away was the end of last season when they managed 4 on the spin. And they've only won back-to-back away games, which they have a chance to do tonight, once in their last 36 matches in all competitions. That was the beginning of this season, and they beat Swallows in the league and then followed that up with the victory over Cape Town City in the MTN8. So hopefully that paints a picture of how poorly they've travelled this season and just in general over the last couple of campaigns.
Yeah, it also just speaks to the confidence of the players, really, in getting those goals.
Oh, Mahango seized upon that, but coming across as Rivaldo Fox to bail out Manama, I think, who made the poor touch initially. Oh, give it away to Gabadini Mahango again, goes down under the challenge. That's Katisa Siema, who scythed him down, the 23-year-old from Tembisa.
Yeah, we were just speaking about the confidence where the AmaZulu is concerned. But of course, Gabadini Mahango once again always picking up that loose ball in midfield, trying to go for that 1v1. What's most important is getting those necessary free kicks. But AmaZulu now need to make sure that they capitalize on this opportunity.
So two-man wall assembled here for Dondol Stars. The potential for both an in-swinging and out-swinging free kick. Will be Mobara, attempts to just clip it in. Now Hanamub. Patlele takes it on the chest. And a hint of offside, but the flag never went up.
Patlele had no pressure whatsoever, could have just really been so composed and picked the spot. It does really now emphasize and speak to that confidence element in front of goal.
Monama looks long, picks out a lovely ball. Raman Patlele has made the tackle, but it's fallen kindly and placed past the posts by Makungo. He's been deadly in the league and not able to hit the target in this match.
Great ball there from the captain, Monama, choosing his spot, really locating Makuno, who we did highlight as one of those dangerous players, and unmarked, he does really well off that shoulder, but just drags the shot quite wide.
Credit as well to Tsepo Skosana, who has a great physical presence up there and was giving Raman Patlele a torrid time. Forward by Gumede, well controlled by Molefe. That's a tricky Siema, coaxing the foul out of an opponent. Well, only two lower league sides qualified for this round. By that I mean any team outside of the professional ranks. DStv Premiership and Motsepe Foundation Championship. Last season was 4 Summerfield Dynamos, Mataitai, Sininkani and Black Eagles. Summerfield Dynamos actually progressed to the quarter-finals, but they were facing another ABC Motsepe League side in Black Eagles in their last 16 match. They were the first side since Baraka in 2011 to progress into the last 8. Baraka, though, did it against a top-flight side in Swallows. The Swallows, the last team to lose to a lower league team, an amateur outfit in effect, in the last 16. AmaZulu would not like that fate to befall them. As this is swung in, Jody February scampers off his line quickly enough.
Dondol Stars really just looking at working that ball, exercising patience in and around that 18-yard box, going out wide to get that width, getting those crosses in just so they can get more numbers inside the box.
Over the past couple of seasons, we've actually seen lower league sides have much better fortunes than perhaps in the past. There were none present in 2021 because no one had the opportunity to qualify during COVID. But the year prior to that, 2019-20 season, 4 teams once again making it through. VUT probably the most impressive of the lot. They beat the Montfort Golden Arrows in the last 32. All of those sides were knocked out in the last 16. Ferrara, Hungry Lions and Happy Wanderers. Here's Raman Patlele. Hanamub. Chance to get something into the box potentially. Extien. Mobara in space. Boalia. Zuma. Skakane picked Doubt Bongin Tuli is touch not tight enough. Now Skakane pursued by Mukungo. He's turned him well. Baloy has come across well, a 31-year-old from the Seshego. He's previously spent time at Magesi FC and Chakumuchama Tsipandila.
Yep, that centre-back pairing of Baloy and Fox have really kept things really quiet there at the back, keeping Bonginduli very quiet.
Deep cross from Patlele. Header, Gabini Mahango. That flies just over the crossbar.
Patlele this time on the ball, so much time on the ball, picks a pass perfectly well worked into that 18-yard box. Mahango going for that aerial duel, just takes it off target.
It's a lovely cross by Ramo, gets his head on that now. Patlele, a winner back in 2015 with Mamelodi Sundowns. He played all 5 cup games en route to the finals. Gabadina Mahango seizes upon it now, launches an effort from range. Did skip off the surface, but Sphamandla Gumede handles easily in the end. Siema. Oh, it's a lovely ball through from Siema to find Skosana. And Skosana flings it into the hands of Jody February. And with a lot of potential, Skosana is picked up from Mamelodi Newcastle. Kugo comes short to receive. Siema now. Oh, corner. Very cheaply given away, as we've already seen from AmaZulu earlier in this half.
Both teams just seem to be rushing where ball possession is concerned, instead of just putting your foot on the ball and really looking for a teammate who's open and free. Surely stats will complement where turnovers are concerned.
So Mubara delivers in, and from the corner, which they probably were very grateful to receive. AmaZulu have not been able to do anything with it. Gabadina Mahango, though, showing that he has the beating of the defenders in the air. Think about this, though. 4 corners taken already, 2 apiece, and of those 4 corners, 2 were very cheaply given away by the respective sides.
Yeah, equally so, lack of creativity. Even if one corner kick routine doesn't work, you need to try and vary the corner kicks, but none of the teams have really taken initiative, trying something new.
CM has looked really bright. He gets a cross in. Patlele, sensing an opponent nearby, has turned that behind for another Dondol corner. Siema hooks it into the box. Gabadina Mahango has plenty of pace, and he's come away with the ball, being tracked by Mabu now. Not sure what that was. They won't want to lose Gabadini Mahango at this stage. 6 goals in all competitions for AmaZulu as the Malawian. Cedric Mobali was sprinting to keep up with the action, so I'm not sure what he detected in that moment. Here's another look at it. Mahango with the ball forward. Might have kept a late foot. Really still baffled as to what the intention was in that instance. Hendrik Ekstien taking on a few instructions as we close in on the interval. 1 minute of regulation time to come. I would suspect not too many minutes will be added. So 30-year-old Mango has been quite busy in this game. The parts. Nice Wednesday evening out. Coaches Vincent and Chris in conversation as they prepare their half-time team talk. Now gets the ball out of his feet to Skasana. His pass intercepted. This is Mobara. Gabadini Mahango is back on the park. So 1 minute of additional time. We'll be hearing the referee's whistle in about 45 seconds or so. Tuli to Ekstien. Zuma setting it up for Mobara. He's cracked it towards goal. So that's it, first 45 in the books. This is the Nedbank Cup last 16 encounter between Dondol Stars and AmaZulu. The second match of this stage, with Mamelodi Sundowns having already beat Marumo Gallants last weekend. But AmaZulu, who were 2 goals up at half-time against Tornado FC, have not been able to breach the defense of Dondol Stars. In fact, neither of these sides went into the interval in the last 32 with the goal, or with the scoreline at 0-0. Dondol Stars were behind by 1-0. AmaZulu, as just previously mentioned, ahead by 2 goals to 0. It's been a pretty even contest up to this point. Both sides have had chances. There were a flurry for AmaZulu in which they hit the post. But should be a very interesting second half. It's 0-0.